Hey guys, welcome back to ESO. This is episode 2. For episode 1, we just created our characters, so now we're entering the Wailing Prison, where hopefully we'll escape, just like every other single Elder Scrolls game. Yeah, you're always a prisoner in these games, right? Pretty much, I think. Although, well, yeah, you're always a prisoner. Yeah, even in Skyrim, you weren't technically in a prison cell, but you were a prisoner headed towards an execution. So, let's see. Oh, I got some mail. Probably all the bonus crap we got. Now, if you haven't seen me play any Elder Scrolls game, Fallout game, Bethesda game, Obsidian game, whatever, I tend to loot everything I see in these games. So I think this game's going to be pretty much exactly the same as any of those other games. I'm going to loot everything. Um, Unlike my typical playthroughs in these in the Elder Scrolls games, where I typically play like a good guy, I think I'm gonna be not a bad guy, but I think I'm gonna do a lot of stealing. I usually don't do that, unless there's like something really rare. I'll be, I'll take it. But I think this time I'm just gonna steal everything and anything as long as I don't get caught. So since we named our character Silvanas Windrunner, I think naming our little mud crab Banshee would be appropriate, since we are the Banshee Queen, or at least pretending to be, because obviously we're not. So let's name our mud crab Banshee. And just for shits and giggles, um, no, I don't want shits and I don't want giggles. This is what you want? You want shits and giggles? That's a horrible German impression. If you know what I'm talking about, it's a funny video. Alright, so let's, for shits and giggles, let's edit our horse to something interesting. From what I do know of the horses, or the mounts, this isn't a fast horse. Actually has no perks whatsoever, as far as I know. So you got to upgrade it. So we're gonna use this as pretty much a pack mule, and maybe later on we'll buy a horse that has like a stamina boost already. So like the one that's bred for speed or something like that. So just for shits and giggles, we'll name them that for fun. Even though you don't see the names of your mounts or your pets, which I found really bad, I guess, or disappointing. Maybe there's a setting to turn those on. I looked, but I did not see it. Which it just sucks, because you kind of, what's the point of naming your pet? And really, what's the name of naming your pet? What's the name of naming your character? If you don't see your character's name except when you're in the pause screen, and you don't see your mount or your pet's name unless you're in the mount or pet section in your collections, which is just stupid. It's like there's no reason to name them. Like in any other MMO, you see, or at least you have the option to turn on your nameplates or your HUDs or your health bars and stuff. So that's what I'm trying to figure out here, but I don't see anything. Check out this, our character. So since we are a Nightblade, and I am primarily gonna be focusing on the bow and arrow once we get a bow and get some arrows. Luckily, the arrows are unlimited, so we don't have to buy arrows or any of that kind of like bullshit. So I'm definitely gonna stick with the bow and arrow. But so we're probably gonna focus on stamina, and health, and maybe a little bit of magicka, but probably primarily on stamina for upgrades. So let's see, we got all our stuff. We got a Pledge of Mara. I don't know who I'm gonna be using this with yet. Kind of sucks you only get one and you can only use it once. Gotta really pick someone that you're gonna be in line with, but won't worry about that now. Wonder if I could sell that. Also, I noticed in the last video when we were creating our character that the borders, for whatever reason, recording this video, are oddly cut. like you'll see those black bars on the left and the right, and like a little one on the top and the bottom, which is annoying for me. And so hopefully you guys don't notice it or pay attention to that. So you're not getting like a full screen, I guess. Which I guess was, cause I think I started playing this at night, and you know how it does that like TV border crap, where you adjust your safety bounds or whatever you want to call it. And I guess I didn't do the borders right. I was thinking in my head that the border would just be the HUD and not the actual screen. Although I'm pretty sure it filled my TV, but I don't know. Like I said, I did this at night, and my TV is black, like every other TV. I don't know. Are TVs any color other than black? At least nowadays. I know there used to be like gray and silver TVs, and hell, there was even I had a white Sony TV. But I don't think, at least in America, I don't think I've seen TVs that aren't black. I don't know. Isn't that kind of weird? They're always like a glossy black. Oh, Nilly. Alright, hopefully you weren't bored of that 6 minutes of me talking. I don't even know what I was talking about. Alright. So here's the giant. So I didn't know any reference when I was making my character, like the height and scale and all that stuff. So when we made our character, I kind of put her, like, I think a little bit above the middle. But I don't know, maybe because she was a wood elf or something. I can't remember, but she's really tiny. Our character is pretty tiny, which it's kind of funny. But I guess, you know, it actually kind of works out, since we're going to be turning into like this stealthy rogue kind of character. So it helps to be small, I guess. And this kind of sucked. I'm pretty sure, and I could be wrong, but in the beta, or yeah, this was definitely different in the beta. I'm pretty sure, because I think this was an instance. I think everyone was here. It was like a public dungeon kind of area, and like when you started, there was like a table, and you had bows and staffs and swords and shields, and you'd pick whatever you wanted. I'm pretty sure that's how it was in the beta. I know they definitely changed these maps in dungeons and stuff. I mean, because I was later on I've been using this guide to find the sky shards, and the maps are different. The layouts of the dungeons are different, so they have changed a few things. Luckily, the sky shards are pretty much in the same area, but the overall like layout of dungeons are changed slightly. So at least they made some updates to the game, I guess. Unless they just changed the maps. But no, the maps, no. It was definitely different. So now we're still in our tutorial. We can't do anything except press R2, and it kills them instantly, making us feel badass. But, I mean, honestly, this entire game is really easy. You'll have no problem soloing this game, except for when you get to a 4-player dungeon, because then you kind of need at least 2 or 3 other people. You can do them solo, like you can go into a 4-player dungeon by yourself, but you'll get fucked up. And they scale too, so it's not like, oh, this is a level 11 4-player dungeon, I'll come back when I'm like 20. No, if you come back, that dungeon will be scaled to level 20. So you're kind of boned, which sucks because just recently I started to try that Imperial DLC that I paid for, and I can't find a single person to do the White Tower or something. I think it's called the White Tower. It's like the first 4-player dungeon that you kind of need. It's like the first thing you have to do in the Imperial DLC. So that kind of sucks. The Imperial City DLC, not the Imperial Edition DLC stuff, obviously. So that's a little disappointing. And plus, to get there, you have to go through this PvP area, so... And luckily, I didn't get killed. I think I got killed once trying to head to the city. But it's kind of in the middle of nowhere. And then I somehow randomly entered in one door, and I headed back to VG out of nowhere. I don't know if it just loaded wrong. Alright, so she's passed out or dead. Let's just take everything. And this place is actually pretty good because there's a lot of bones and some worms and guts and maggots and whatever. And you can use all those like worms and guts and all that stuff for fishing, which I think that's great that they have fishing in here, because it's always fun to do in MMOs. Like seriously, I kind of enjoy fishing in MMOs. And bones are good because I am I think that's the crafting class of the Bosmer. So we can craft our stuff, and actually I think we find pretty much every other crafting recipe. Well, pretty much every recipe, whether it's cooking, crafting, or like clothes or whatever, or material styles or whatever, we get them all from stealing. So I'm not really sure if there's any other way to get them besides stealing. Although I think they're tagged under treasure, so maybe you can find them in treasure chests at, like after like a dungeon or something. But yeah, I found pretty much every one. All the blues and greens and stuff. I haven't found any purples from stealing chests. No, Prophet.
It was very dangerous for him to speak to you, even for a moment. You must think you can help me.
Help you do what?
Break him out, of course. Believe me.
Why would we want to break him out if he's locked up? Is he gonna help us?
Man is the only person alive who can help us get back
Oh,
home.
he's gonna help us. Where do we go from here?
From here.
Where do we go from here?
These tunnels will eventually take us to the Towers of Eyes. That's
Eyes? It's Mordor? What are these sentinels?
Magical constructs created by Molag Bal to guide his vision in Cold Harbor. The sentinels are connected.
So, Lord of the Rings?
With any luck,
No? Okay.
will buy us the time we need to free the Prophet.
How can we destroy it?
I have no idea. Brute
Terrific.
force? We'll find a way. We have to. Be ready for anything. I doubt Molag Bal left the sentinels unguarded.
But I have so many questions.
I'm sure you do. And I'll answer them as best I can.
Who is this prophet you speak of?
He's a strange one, no doubt about it. But he's the wisest man.
Should I be doing a girl's voice since we're a girl?
He sees things. Past, future.
What is this place? Where am I?
Obviously
That's not a girl's act. I don't know what I was doing there.
Think of the most miserable, depressing place you've ever been in your life. That's paradise compared to Cold Harbor. And to top it off, well, there's no easy way to say it. You're dead.
I'm dead? Bitch, how am I having this conversation then?
I don't know. Once we rescue the Prophet,
What do you know?
the gods and the ways of oblivion. I don't understand any of it myself.
If I'm dead, who killed me? Come on, who killed me?
A man named Menemarco. His worm cult is doing some kind of ritual back
Worm
in
cult?
They sacrificed you and everyone.
Is it like a fishing clan?
To the Daedric Prince Molag Bal. After you died, whatever was left showed up here. They call you the Soul Shriven.
Ew, gross. What does that mean?
It means you're a slave and you'll spend the rest of eternity here in Cold Harbor, working under the lash of the
I don't want to
Daedra.
be a slave.
Unless, of course, you come with me.
Are you dead too? Are you Bruce Willis?
No, I wasn't sacrificed. The Prophet and I were brought here conventionally, if that makes any sense. But we're prisoners here, same as you. It won't be easy. The place is watched by magical constructs called sentinels. We won't stand a chance unless we can.
Yeah, I already, yeah, okay. Yeah, no, shut up, yeah, goodbye. I already heard you say that the first time. Damn, bitch, you're on fast. Let's go. Forge. Yeah, I forgot what we were talking about after that conversation. Before that conversation, but whatever. That guy just threw that guy on some spikes. Alright. Forge Master. Why are we hurting the Forge Master? He just wanted to make some weapons. We come into his little workspace. Now we gotta kill him. It's not nice of us, is it? Some cool effects. I don't know. Do we see those effects in third person? I don't know. Maybe we do. Maybe we don't.
The god of brutality knows of your escape. Hurry.
Some bones. Some more bones, probably. Yep. Bones and crawlers in the skulls. Let's see what we can loot. Pretty much I'm learning what I can and can't loot. Something you always have to do too. You gotta know what's lootable and what's not. But it does change a little bit. And it is a nice little touch that when you do loot stuff, like it changes. Like that cart was full and then I looted it and now it's empty. Little things like that are kind of cool. Alright, so we leveled up after we brutally killed the harmless, just happy-go-lucky Forge Master trying to make an honest buck to feed his poor little family. So he gave us enough experience to level up. Now, it's either health or stamina first. We're an archer, so stamina, or we're gonna do this game pretty much solo probably, so we should probably just put health, right? Stamina sounds good. Character skills, blah 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 blah. Ability. This is. I hope we can get access to multiple ability bars, because having one ability bar sucks. That I don't want one ability bar. I like swapping. I don't want to go into the menus and switch between all these things, all these skills. It's gonna suck. But at the same time, I don't want a World of Warcraft layout where you have like 27 toolbars and like 4 on the bottom, 3 on the side, 2 up here, 2 over there. You know, that's a little ridiculous. But you know, at least give me at least 3 toolbars to cycle between. That'd be nice. And you can do it on the consoles. I know Final Fantasy XIV did it, so you can swap. You had multiple hotbars. They did it kind of smartly. But having 5 abilities in one ultimate, it's asking a lot, man. I don't want to keep swapping in between. And it's weird too, because you don't. I don't think you necessarily get. No, I think you do level up your skills by using them, but they have to be equipped on your hotbar, so you don't like level up skills or abilities that you don't have equipped. Which I mean, I guess makes sense, but it sucks that you only have a few to choose and play with. But obviously, we're only level 2. Yeah, level 2. So we don't really have that many skills to play with anyway. So whatever. So here's our basic stuff. Little character sheet. Alright, so let's see. Let's go towards the eyes. Although I think we only fight one eye. But,
the god of schemes can see every part of Cold Harbor.
Whatever.
We need to distract him.
Alright, we gotta distract the eye. How do you distract an eye? Just throw something in front of it, or tell him that he's got mustard on his shirt. And then see if he looks down. Alright, so let's take a look at our map. Now that we have a map, this looks like a pretty straightforward place, the Wailing Prison. We got our filters. Nothing really here yet. We got a quest. Alright. Seems decent enough. I still hate that there is not a mini-map feature. I mean, I know that little compass is, you know, what you expect from an Elder Scrolls game, but I like mini-maps. I like that, I can't remember who made it, but the mini-map add-on for the PC version of this game did a good job. Alright, so here's our first interaction, or at least looking at another player. He's got a sorcerer, he's got his little fiend. What do you call those guys? So sorcerer summons his what do they summon? They summon and summon and summon and summon and summon and summon and hey. I cannot think of what they call those things. Which I probably looked at it and I probably don't remember. It's not a fiend. It's what do you summon? A familiar. That's it. Familiar.
Target practice?
Just kind of cool. Being a sorcerer, you can like summon all different kinds of familiars as you level up. Then you can have your pet, and you can just have like this whole posse. Which I think Guild Wars 2. I'm pretty sure, yeah, in Guild Wars 2 you had like a sorcerer's class that you could like summon all these like gross-looking monsters and stuff to follow you around and fight for you. So that's kind of an interesting thing. It really does kind of suck that they kind of force you to use a greatsword. I mean, you can find like a mace and a bow and some shields and stuff in this dungeon, in these areas, if they do spawn and you can find them, because I found them on other playthroughs. But I don't know, it just sucks. You see everyone running around with the same greatsword no matter what class they are. It just seems a little silly. And I'm 80% sure that in the beta they had like a table, kind of like the beginning of Kingdoms of Amalur, where they don't know exactly what you can be because you can be everything, and they just have all these chests. So here's a chest with a bunch of robes and a staff. Here's a chest with a bunch of chainmail and a sword. Here's you know. So just pick whatever you want, but of course you always you take everything, because why the fuck wouldn't you take everything? I don't know, dinosaurs. I don't know. Have we seen?
Come get some more.
I don't think dinosaurs were in Skyrim. Are they in Skyrim? So, well, obviously we're not in Skyrim. We're not even in Tamriel yet. We're, what do they call this place? Well, it's the Wailing Prison, but I forget where exactly we are. Either way, we're not in the plane of existence yet, because we're dead. We're soul-shriven. Which, actually turns out to be... See, a person? No, it's just an NPC. Okay. Which actually works out in our favor, because then when we make our guild, I forget what we call it. Did we call it the Undead Forsaken? Yeah, I think we call it the Undead Forsaken, because I think the Forsaken was taken already. So we named ourselves the Undead Forsaken, which, if you're familiar with Silvanas Windrunner, and you're familiar with World of Warcraft, or just Warcraft in general, and you know the character, you kind of know the story behind that. But I won't. No, I don't know. Do I want to spoil it? It's not really a spoiler. I mean, she, you know, she's human and then she's not, so she's undead. So this kind of works out that we're technically undead, even though we're not. Yeah, because what happens? Well, we haven't seen it yet, but yeah, we're undead. And then, you know, obviously spoilers. We escape the Wailing Prison and we go into Tamriel. We don't spend all our time as a soul in the Wailing Prison. So I forget what happens. Like story-wise, like does our soul get revived or something? Or I have no idea. But it is a weird question. I don't even know what I was talking about. So I guess we'll do daggers, because that seems like what a rogue uses. Dual-wielding daggers and a bow sounds good. Although once we leave this prison, we don't really use daggers pretty much ever again, really. We use them for a little bit, but once we get our bow, that's all we use. That's all I really use, and we start getting our skills for our bows. I did think it was smart that you can just read the recipes and learn them and they disappear. It's very helpful when you steal recipes. Even if they're stolen, you can read them and learn them, because obviously, I mean, what are you going to forget a recipe? You can't read it because it's stolen. So you just read it. That way you don't need to launder it when you go to like a safe haven.
We just got free of this place. The last thing we need is to get recaptured.
Yeah, we don't want to get recaptured, even though we're still kind of here. But that's another cool thing too, that like when you're in your inventory, your character has a bag, or when you're looking at the map, your character holds a map, or if you're reading a book, your character's holding a book, which is a nice touch, so you know if someone's doing something. And you know, if I'm away, like I make my character sit down or something stupid, or lean against the wall, flip a coin. But the emote system is not, it's a little clunky, I guess, just because it's hidden in between. It's not really hidden, but it's behind a menu, and then another menu, and then a bunch of different menus to select. I still don't know the reason why they got rid of the text chat for the console versions. There must be like some reason, because I think I mentioned it in a previous episode. Like, I think every MMO that's been on, at least, yeah, on the consoles, they've always had a text chat too. So I don't know why they got rid of it. Like even DC Universe, it's the other MMO that I can think of, and Dragon's Dogma Online had a text chat. That's on the PS4 too. I don't know why there's no text chat in this game.
Warded. We'll never get in this way.
Doors warded. Warded, and we don't know how to deward it. So tell me.
Damn it. Destroying the Sentinel must have triggered these wards. We'll need to find another way in.
Oh, bitch, it was your idea.
Maybe Cadwell can help us.
Who's Cadwell?
Cadwell is the oldest of the Soul Shriven.
How come we didn't mention him
Years of
before?
torment, Soul Shriven usually go insane and turn feral, but not Cadwell. He was already insane before he left Tamriel. Mad as a box of frogs, but completely harmless. You'll see.
How can we trust a madman? How
Cadwell
can he
sees
help
things
us?
as he wishes them to be. To him, Cold Harbor is a wondrous place. It's his home, and he knows it like the back of his hand.
So why didn't we
He's
go
usually
to him
down by the
first?
Let's go
Oh, I
find
guess we didn't know the doors would be locked. Alright, goodbye. This voice chat though. Voice chat's coming up. Yeah, let's listen to these assholes. Yep, yeah, he's having a great time. Yeah, he's doing nothing. Let's leave. Can we leave? Yeah, let's leave. Let's leave this fucking party. Are you kidding me? Yeah, let's not add text chat, but let's add annoying voice chat. And make everyone join it. That's so stupid. Alright, so here's our emotes. Which is nice. Look at all these free emotes. Destiny. Oh, paid emotes. What the fuck are you thinking?
One fine day in the
So
middle
here's
of
Cadwell.
the night, two dead kings
Cadwell!
got up to fight.
Cadwell!
Back they faced each other, drew their bows, and stabbed
Did anyone call for
their
Costanza?
swords.
Yeah, a woman.
Hello, what's this? Out for a stroll then? Lovely day for it.
You must be Cadwell.
Sir Cadwell, yes indeed, a pleasure.
Excuse me.
And fair Lyris, good to see you, my dear. How are you then?
Oh, we're trying to rescue the Prophet, blah, yada, yada, yada.
Well, that is inconvenient, isn't it? Tell you what, I happen to know another way in. Much more
Why
of a
did
scenic
someone want
route.
to trade?
Rather a fun little jaunt, actually, full of traps and corpses and nasty beasties filling up the bits in between.
How do we get through all of that?
Rather cautiously, I expect.
Oh, hardy har har, Cadwell, you're so funny.
And do mind the traps. They'll like us not be a
It's a trap!
of running and skull bashing as well.
Where's the entrance? Could you point me in the right
Follow the
direction?
river. You'll find the door to
the
the
river,
undercroft
gotcha.
at the water's end.
Left, water,
Once you're
and
inside,
yep.
stick to the light, and you'll find a ladder
Stick
that
to the
will
light.
take you right up to the prophet straight away. Do give him my best.
I will, thanks.
Best of luck. Do check in now and again, won't you?
Well, why don't you tell me about yourself, because I'm probably never going to see you, Sir
Well,
Cadwell.
there's not much to tell, is there? It's the same old pish-tosh, gallant
Mhm.
knight, epic
Yeah.
quests, rescued
Mhm.
maidens.
Mhm.
I came
Yeah.
to this
Mhm.
land when my head was quite unceremoniously
Mhm.
separated from my body.
Ooh,
Bad luck that, but
Mhm.
you make the best of things.
yeah. Yep.
Oh, quite a long time. In fact, I wouldn't be a bit surprised if I was the oldest of the soul shriven, of those who didn't go feral, that is. I know every
Yes, yes.
tunnel and path, every nook and cranny.
Mhm.
The others look up to me, I suppose.
Awesome. How do you know her?
Lyris, girl's as mad as sheer Gorus jammies. Heart's in the right place,
Hmm.
I suppose. Says she's got to rescue the prophet to save
Yep.
us all from eternal torment.
That's our goal.
How an old blind man could do that is quite beyond me.
Oh, I think I'm going to
Hello,
skip through all these
gentlemen. Apparently he was once a
dialogues
powerful mage,
going forward.
but years haven't been kind. Lyris says he knows of a path back to Tamriel. I rather think that if one existed, I'd have found it by now.
Well, where have you been looking?
I hadn't actually given it much thought. Anything's possible, I suppose. Truth is, I've been here so long, this place feels like home. But a good uprising now and again is a pleasant diversion, so where's the harm, eh?
Yeah, alright, goodbye. We're going to end this episode here. Thanks for watching, guys. Once we get out of this prison, we'll do more action and stuff, though. It's still like the tutorial area. It's a little boring, so hopefully it gets better.